What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of leaks, rumors, and riddles for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Indigo Disc DLC. A lot of great stuff here. Potentially new raids coming for 7 stars, but also a raid series, stuff about abilities, and much more. And of course, guys, like this type of content, enjoy these videos. Please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel by joining the Pan Fam by hitting that join channel member button below. Now, Riddler who tweeted this out on October 27th. Do you love double battles? Sadachi 2 is blank. Now, Sadachi 2 is the code name for the second DLC. And lo and behold, on November 21st, Riddler Coup says, so reports began to tell this info is true. So pretty much, yes, all the battles in the Indigo Disc are going to be double battles. If you missed the previews from last week that all the outlets and press people, and even I covered to a certain degree, confirmed that all of the battles in the Indigo Disc will be double battles, and they are higher level than the Teal Mass as well. So you definitely want to have some sort of knowledge of double battles and having a solid Pokemon team going into this DLC. You can see that Joe Merrick from Cerebi here also confirms this as well. You'll find trainers level 60 throughout, and to top it off, every single trainer battle I found in the terrarium is a double battle. So that's really cool, honestly. One, I'm just a big fan of this in general because the pro scene is all about double battles. So I'm glad that the single player aspect of this game is going to be double battle focused. And I would like to see a future Pokemon game be all about double battles in the future, because that seems to be where they want to take the competitive scene in general. But, you know, another thing is this proves that Riddler Coup was once again correct about something about a month in advance. So his information is definitely the best when it comes to any sort of riddles or rumors coming to the Indigo Disc DLC. Now, Riddler Coup also tweeted this out. What's the authentic name for this type? We can't call it a number all day, every day, right? So this is about the Omni type, the 19 type, the Ultima type. You know, the meme is Omni-Man's here, so Omni and, you know, Terra Blast being the 19 type here with all the rainbows, which looks like Terrapagos' shell, honestly. You know, it could be called the Omni type. I don't think it's going to be called that. Could be called Ultima type. That's another decent one, but it's definitely not going to be called the 19 type. That's like an internal code name for us right now. But we do know that any Pokemon can learn this type and become it. We still don't know the properties on it. I do believe it's going to essentially make you into a colorless Pokemon, which means that you will have no weaknesses nor resistances, and you'll also be able to do like this damage type that no Pokemon can resist when you have this Terra Blast with this 19 type. So I think it's going to be obviously very powerful and strong competitive play. Hopefully we get a trailer really soon. I'm sort of predicting we get a trailer next week showing us some more information about this new Terra type, because I'm incredibly excited because this is obviously something going to be meta shifting for Pokemon in general. Now, Riddler Coup says its ability is dope, and we're looking at a photo here that is from the Scarlet and Violet book in the base game, which is obviously referring to Terrapagos. It looks like some sort of Terrapagos on a huge egg. Maybe it's like its final Terra form. Maybe this is like a boss fight only form. But he says his ability is dope, and we did talk about this in a previous video. But now he is saying, now I've been telling you all 4 new abilities. New moves are dope too. Sadachi 2 less than 1 month now. So he's saying there are 4 new abilities coming to the DLC. Now I can see Terrapagos having 2 abilities. One ability when it's in the little turtle form, and then one when it actually terras into that big turtle form. So I can see 2 different abilities happening there. This is very similar to Ogerpon, where Ogerpon has a base ability without its Terra form, and then when it does Terra, it gets a new ability. So I can see that half of the new abilities are going to Terrapagos. So, and we know there's a total of 8 new Pokemon coming as well. So we remove Terrapagos, we only have 7 more that we can look at. Now, Arceus does not have another new one, so we're down to 6, and we know that there's going to be 2 Paradox Pokemon in each trio, and they're all going to just have the same abilities, you know, photosynthesis and all that good stuff. So we remove those 2 from that equation as well. So pretty much what we're looking at now is, does Diplin's Evolution have a brand new ability, and does the Doku Taro Pokemon have a brand new ability as well? Those are the 2 Pokemon that have the good chance of actually having a new ability. I can also see Doku Taro just having Toxic Chain as well as his ability, but I mean, we'll see if that's true, because it is the head of the Loyal 3, but I would like it to have something better, and maybe who knows what Diblin's evolution could actually have. I'm honestly, hopefully we get a trailer next week showing us at least one of these or two of these new Pokemon that's actually coming to the DLC, because now we're about 3 weeks away and we haven't seen anything truly new Pokemon wise from the content that's been released yet. Now, Riddler tweets this out, and this is what I'm most excited about. He says, "Are you ready?" And this is a picture of Shiny Spectrier and a Shiny Enamorus. Now, if you didn't know, both of these Pokemon are currently unattainable Shinies. The only way to get these Shiny is no way that's legitimate. You can't actually hunt them or do anything like that. You can only use outside tools to turn them Shiny, but they wouldn't be legitimate and you can't trade them either. Now, these aren't the only Pokemon that are currently Shiny Locked in Pokemon. There's a decent list of Shiny Locked Pokemon right now. And you can see from this list that a vast majority of these Shiny Locked Pokemon are currently mythical Pokemon. So I don't think we're gonna be able to raid for mythicals because he only provided us with pictures of legendary Pokemon, but there's still a decent amount of legendaries that are Shiny Locked. So we got the Urshifu line, which is Shiny Locked. We have the horses, so we have Spectrier and Glacier, as well as Calyrax, Enamorus, and then the Runerus 4, which is from our game currently, Koraidon and Miraidon, which I do think is going to be some sort of event that we're going to get in the Cherish Ball. And then Walking Wake Iron Leaves, which aren't legendaries, but they're based on legendary Pokemon. So you can probably say the same thing about like Raging Bolt and Iron Crown as well. Ogerpon is Shiny Locked, and then the Loyal 3 is also Shiny Locked too. Blood Moon Ursaluna is another cool one that is Shiny Locked as well. So don't forget that, and a couple of other guys as well. But that's not too many Pokemon, but I do think at the very least from this Riddler tweet, seems like we're going to finally be getting at least Enamorus and Spectre, and I would assume Glacier as well as shiny Pokemon in whatever post-game rating system that we'll be getting in the Indigo Disc. Now, I do really hope it is going to be something like Dynamax Adventures. If you don't know what Dynamax Adventures is, it was essentially a 4-player online mode. You could do it solo as well, but it was easier online, where you were able to raid for legendary Pokemon, and all Pokemon in this had a 1 out of 100 chance of being shiny, and that was really awesome. You would essentially go through these 4 different paths, and you would pick one Pokemon, and you would essentially try to defeat the Pokemon until you get to the final raid boss, and if you defeated that, then you can actually potentially catch it and keep it with you. Now, that would be really cool. I really hope this is what the end game is going to be for raiding for us, because I am not expecting any major content updates after Indigo Disc. Sure, there's gonna be like, oh, maybe Mightiest Marks and things like that afterwards, but I'm not expecting a 3rd DLC pack to ever be released. So hopefully they give us raiders some sort of endgame content that we can chew on for the rest of this game's life. Now, speaking about raids, Riddler says, what 7-star legendary raids are you looking forward to the most? And this is a picture of the Mewtwo that we did. So to me, this says there's going to be more 7-star legendary raids, which I think is very obvious. It was such a good event that they did the Mewtwo. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they did some more Gen 9 focused Pokemon. Wouldn't be surprised if they did this with maybe some of the newer Pokemon that would come out. Like, what if they did this with like the Runerus legendaries, and that's how you get their shinies? That would be a really cool event. I would love to see something like that, or it could be some older legendary Pokemon. But here's the thing, if they kept like only keeping those legendary Pokemon to 7-star raids, that would be a little bit lame, because that probably means there wouldn't be like a Terra Adventures raid system for us to deal with. So, I mean, I want to see more legendaries, but I don't want them to be only locked to this. I really want to have a way to shiny hunt legendaries in this game, but I don't want them to be locked behind time events, because it's not fair to everyone. People miss it, and it's a lot of coordination to do in such a short amount of time. So hopefully we do get some sort of Terra raid adventures instead of just shiny 7-star raids. Now, Riddler does talk about the Mightiest Mark here. With the Mightiest Mark image on the screen, he says, Electric, Ground, Dark, Steel. Now, these are all 4 different types that we have not seen yet as a 7-star raid. So I can guess that that's the order of release for the next 4. Makes the most sense without trying to overthink this in any way, shape, or form. And the next 7-star raid is going to be Electric. And Electric could be a little bit tricky as a 7-star raid because it's only weak to ground. So we have limited options there, but at least we'll be able to focus more on it and I wonder when the next one's going to come out. Maybe they'll have one more the week before the Indigo disc just to build up the hype for the DLC. I can definitely see them do that because there is a week between the release and after Samurai is finished on its second weekend, so that can make a lot of sense to me as well. And then the last thing is Riddler puts this out here, 2024 predictions, and he has 4 images, and the images are different maps. So the first one is gonna be Kanto, second one is Johto, third one is Unova, and the last one is Paldea. Now, 2024 game predictions, in my opinion, is definitely not going to be a Paldea game. We're playing that right now. It's not going to happen. Now, I do think it's too early for a Gen 1 game. I mean, we had Let's Go Pikachu Eevee not too long ago, so definitely not going to be that. And now everyone's big debate is always Johto versus Unova. Personally, I'm Team Unova, mostly because we haven't seen a Unova remake in general, period. So I think it's about time we finally get one of those. And also, there's so many hints in the Indigo disc that are actually referring to Unova that I think is pretty obvious. I do love Johto. It is like one of my favorite regions, probably my favorite region, honestly. Besides Gen 2 and Gen 5 end up being my 2 favorites. I would love to see Johto at the end of the day. However, I don't think it's Johto's time to shine. Maybe in another year or something like that, I would really appreciate it, but I do want Unova. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comment section below what game you want to see in 2024 for Pokemon. It could be a Legends game, it could be just a remake of Gen 5 or anything like that. Would love to hear your thoughts. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it, and catch you guys next time. Peace out, and have a great one.